Yeah.
Announcing the arrival of World Travelers Toastmasters Club number 079679399.
We have proven that we do not have to be in the same room to be united, to encourage each other, to succeed, and to celebrate together.
Well, Toastmasters and most welcome guests, welcome to this meeting. I'm now going to hand over to Samira, the SAA for Pinnacle Toastmasters Club. Over to you, Samira. You're on mute there, Samira.
Samira, we cannot hear you.
No, do you have a Bluetooth headphones on? Is that what it is?
Now,
Hey, here we go. Well done.
can hear, right? Excellent, excellent, excellent. There are technical problems in flights as well. So yeah, I also had a technical problem right now. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all the Toastmasters, wherever you are from around the globe. It is my honor and privilege to welcome each and every one of you to this special joint meeting between World Travelers Toastmasters Club and Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters Club. By now, you might have seen in the agenda, it is repleted and jam-packed with lot of speeches and evaluations. No wonder we are going to hear lots of stories from our Toastmasters in today's meeting. But before we start off the meeting proceedings, let me quickly remind you a few vital things as we are in an online platform right now. Make sure you are muted during a speech, especially during a speech, because the speaker might get distracted if you unmute your mic. And also make sure to keep on your screens switched on whenever possible so that we can see your beautiful faces throughout the meeting. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, now let me welcome the president of World Travelers Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Tamami Nagayama, to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Welcome everyone from around the globe, and especially to Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters Club members. I'm very excited today to have combined meeting this evening. World Travelers Toastmasters Club, we consist of members around the globe from more than 10 countries, and we respect and enjoy each cultural differences while pursuing our learning. experiences. I'm excited today. Very excited today to hear speeches from your club. And we also have our members to share with you our stories. Without further ado, let me welcome our Toastmaster of the evening. She is our treasurer, Diane. She began Toastmaster journey in Bali, Indonesia, and spent half a decade working in hospital industry. She loves traveling, nature, and tea. Passionate about mental health, well-being, and self-development. She has been a member of 5 different clubs in different districts and have served in executive roles. She's also now the president of our sister club, World Impact Speakers. An author, thinker, and lifelong learner, she believes the best investment people can make is in themselves, and Toastmaster is one of the best investment. Please help me welcome Diane. Sorry, Diane, over to you. The stage is yours. Here
Thank
you
you so
are.
much, our President, Kawamina Gayama. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone from around the world. Fellow Toastmaster member and guests of World Traveler, and Pinnacle Advent Toastmaster. It is an honor to be Toastmaster of the Day for 2 of most outstanding clubs on this planet. And today, we bring not only 1, but 2 clubs together under meaningful theme, Catalysts for Progress, stories that spark transformation. What is in your mind when you heard the word of catalyst? A catalyst is something that triggers change. It may be small, but it has powerful impact. Without catalyst, progress can be slow. In our life, catalysts often come through a story about failure can inspire courage, a story about persistence can renew hope, a story about change can help someone see a new possibility. Many of you may remember a moment when a single story from your mentor, friends, or speaker shifted your thinking and encouraged you to take action. That is the quiet power of storytelling. It does not just inform us, it moves us. And today, we will have story and experience from all speakers. Within those stories, there may be moment of challenge, discovery, or growth, the kind of moment that spark transformation. This is the beauty of Toastmaster. We gather together not only to improve public speaking and leadership, but also to collaborate and learn from each other. In this meeting, we have 3 sessions. First, private speeches, second, table topic, and third is evaluation. Today, I'm not alone. I have my team to help me run the entire meetings. So I would like to invite all my meeting team to take the place on the stage to introduce themselves. First, I would like to invite our grammarian. Let me introduce about herself. She is public speaking coach, tech-board speaker, charter member of World Traveler, PVE World Impact Speaker, and current area director at District 102. Please welcome our grammarian, Kim Loon.
Thank you very much, Dan. A very good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everybody, our fellow Toastmaster and guests here, and our friends from Pinnacle. First, I'd like to introduce the word of the day. And today's word of the day is attune. Attune means is to adjust to other people's feeling, needs, or situation. An example sentence is a good leader learns to attune to how other people feels, even when no one says anything. So I am very, very certain that every one of us is attuned to the meeting and to everyone's feeling and speeches in our meeting today. As a grammarian, my job is to listen out very carefully to excellent phrases, record them, and if there's any grammatical mistakes or mispronunciation, just to highlight it. And with that, I will pass it back to Dian, our Toastmaster of the evening. Back to you, Dian.
Thank you so much, our grammarian, Kim Lao. Next is our Ahkonda. He is Toastmaster since 2014, member Pinnacle Advent since 2022, joining from Germany. Wow. Today, he is working as team head global SAP development at Pinnacle. Please welcome our accountant, Budinat Hangawata.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster. Hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. Thank you very much. So as the R counter, before going to the R counter, the word of the day really caught me off guard because the word attune, that seems to be the name of my previous company. I was wondering why the word attune, but nice touch there. All right, now to my role. As the R counter of today's meeting, I will be monitoring the usage of the words that you are saying throughout the meeting, may it be the role players or the speakers and even the evaluators. And what I would do as the R counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as a crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. And I will listen for overused words as well. And the repetitive words as well. And as long as those words that you utter or the sounds that you make, or even the sounds that you don't make by extending the pauses, does not add any value to what you're trying to convey, I will make a note of that and I will come back and share that with you at the end of the meeting. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, our accountant, Budinat. Next is our timer. Our timer is she's working in finance and enjoy exploring new destinations. She loves spending time outdoors and immersing herself in different cultures. She's always eager to learn, experience the world beyond her routine. Please welcome our timer, Leticia Wakimba Dale.
Good morning, good evening, everyone. So as a timer of the day, my role today is to help everyone attune to the rhythm of time. In Toastmasters, time is not just a limit. It's a guide that helps speakers stay focused and deliver the messages effectively. So I will use these three colors: green, minimum time reach; yellow, approaching the maximum time; and red, maximum time reach. For table topics, I will go green at 1 minute, yellow at 1.5, and red 2 minutes. For prepared species, green is at 5 minutes, yellow at 6 minutes, red at 7. For evaluators, green at 2 minutes, yellow at 2.5, red at 3 minutes. And at the end of the meeting, I will provide you with a timing report. So wishing all of you best of luck. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, our timer, Leticia. And the last is our general evaluator. He is Sri Lanka, legal professional, attorney at law, currently residing in Canada. He has been a member of Pinnacle Advance since 2015. Please welcome our general evaluator, Bandula Gamaraji.
Welcome, bonjour, adios, and mabuhay. Members from around the globe, from Far East to North America. It's my pleasure and privilege to be a part of this wonderful audience. It's a novel experience. And today, this evening, or this morning, I am your general evaluator, that is Chief Quality Assurance Officer. Now, I have a two-faceted role here. One is to make observations about the meeting from the beginning to the end and submit a report on do's and don'ts. And basically, as I always say, the good, the bad, and the ugly. At the end of the meeting, once being called upon by the Toastmaster of the day, I would submit my report. Next is to be in charge of the evaluation team. Evaluation team includes the timer, accountant, grammarian, and the extended team of speech evaluators. That's my role in brief. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, our general evaluator, Bandala. All my team members have introduced themselves, and now it's time to start our first session. Let me introduce our first speaker. Our first speaker has been Toastmaster for many years. He has held all club office and been area director several times. She's retired and lives in New Jersey, near Philadelphia. She's excited to introduce herself with her icebreaker project from Harvard with Visionary Communication. She'll be evaluated by Kalvana De Silva. Is Kalvana here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Hello.
May I invite Kalvana to share our first speaker objective?
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. So Michelle is embarking on a lovely journey today. I suppose all of you would remember your icebreaker, however number of times you have done it. So today is going to be that's going to be the project Michelle is going to embark. It's under the path Visionary Communication, as mentioned by the Toastmaster also. And it's about introducing yourself to the club and learning the basic structure of a public speech. And you are given 4 to 6 minutes on this endeavor. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster. Or would you like me to introduce the speaker? Or that's your job?
I will hold the speaker. Thank you so much. Thank you, all our evaluator, Kalvana. Michelle, are you ready?
Yes, I am ready.
Like Michelle, please. All right.
Yep.
All right, hello, Toastmaster. Please give applause to our first speaker, Michelle Brecker, with her speech title, Why I Love Toastmaster. Michelle, 4 to 6 minutes, time is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. Greetings, everyone. My name is Michelle. I first visited World Toastmasters in January, and I joined almost immediately, but you haven't seen me since. I swear, I am not a ghost. I am a real person. And I have chosen the Visionary Communication Project to share with you. I'm very, very excited and looking forward to it. For me, this is Saturday morning, which is a very busy time in my schedule. I have 2 grandsons who are very active in sports and music, etc. I have many other commitments that fall on a Saturday morning. I will try to attend as many meetings as I possibly can. I first joined Toastmasters many years ago, and I have stayed with it ever since. I have held every office at least once, and some of them many times, and I've been an area director in different areas as needed. Presently, I am the Vice President Education in the Voorhees Toastmasters Club. We're in New Jersey on the East Coast of the United States, and we're very close to Philadelphia, where many of you, I understand, lots of you went to the International Convention last year. Unfortunately, I couldn't attend, but that is an entirely different speech for another time. I am very proud of one of our members, Jocelyn Tyson, who won in 2023 the World Champion Speaking. It was so inspiring to see her compete and win at the club level and then follow her travels all the way up to the very top. Jocelyn is a very lovely lady. Perhaps some of you got to meet her at the convention. There are 3 main things that I love about Toastmasters and that are catalysts for my progress. I'm very attuned to Toastmasters. First of all, the people. Toastmasters themselves are amazing. Think about it. Struggling with public speaking and the fear of public speaking and deciding to combat it voluntarily on your own. Toastmasters have guts. They have courage. Being a Toastmaster is not for the timid or the weak of heart. It's for the courageous. And the Toastmasters I meet are all wonderful people. No matter where I've been, from Madrid to Montreal to Minnesota, the Toastmasters clubs have always been very warm and inviting, very warm and comfortable. I really do enjoy Toastmasters. I taught English as a second language, and I've always encouraged my advanced students to join Toastmasters because I saw the opportunity for it to be a catalyst for them to improve their English speaking in a comfortable and a safe environment. And that's also another speech, which I will go to at a different time. The second topic are the speeches themselves. The topics of speeches in Toastmasters are so eclectic, so broad. It is amazing the amount of things that you learn just from listening to Toastmaster speeches. It's like becoming a very well reader in 5 to 7 minutes snippets. The actual evaluations, of course, are a catalyst for my improvement. I don't just listen to evaluations for my own speeches. I listen to all evaluations because they all speak to me personally. The point of an oral evaluation isn't just for the speaker and the Toastmasters who spoke, it's for all of the members to learn, and I certainly have done that. The grammarian, of course, helps me with my words, and that's my toolbox for speaking. The counter helps me not to stutter too much or get too many ums and ums and get a little nervous and forget what I'm saying. I love the counter, which is strange. And the timer, oh my goodness. 4 to 6 minutes on this side of the camera is so very different than 4 to 6 minutes on your side of the camera. And that is a skill that you have to learn. It's not something that's innate. In summary, I am very excited to share my journey on the visual communication path with you. I know that I will learn about different cultures, different people, different thoughts, different ideas, and different styles, and that you will be a catalyst for me to grow as a communicator. Thank you for welcoming me into your club, Madam Toastmaster.
Wow. Good day is her first icebreaker as one of our news members. So everyone, please turn on your camera, unmute yourself, and say congratulations for icebreaker speech. Thank you so much, Michelle, for helpful introduction. I really love your explanation. And icebreaker speech is very important. It's not only first speech, but also the foundation and root of all our training and public speaking in Toastmasters. Thank you so much. Next, move on to our second speaker. Let me introduce himself. Our second speaker has been an active Toastmaster since 2018. He is past area director, currently studying master's degree in data science. He enjoyed his role as subject matter expert at CIM 7 Incorporated. On weekend, he loves getting his hands dirty working on craft. Today, he is not going to deliver Project Pathway, but this is international speech contest, and he is going to be evaluated by Ramesh Halai. Is Ramesh here? May I invite Ramesh to share his speech objectives?
Thank you, Toastmaster Deanne. So as Toastmaster Deanne mentioned, this is not a pathway speech. This is an international contest speech. As such, the only criteria is, as a judge, how would I rate this particular speech? What I'm also going to do is to pretend to be a judge and then give him some feedback based on what I've observed, and as a judge, how I'm scoring the speech and the speaker. And I'll share some details in my evaluation later on. Back to you, Toastmaster Deanne.
Thank you so much, Ramesh. Pravin, are you ready?
Yes, good to go.
All right, please welcome our second speaker, Pravin Nanayakara, with his speech title, The Storyteller. The Storyteller, 5 to 7 minutes. Pravin, time is yours.
Thank you, Madam Toastmaster. My beautiful audience, do you want to hear a story? I was just 8 years old, just a little bit shorter than I am now. And I remember wearing my favorite vest, sun yellow with a green border and red shorts with holes down the side. I see my grandmother ironing clothes in the bedroom, and I know immediately where the world's best storyteller is. As I run into the living room, sure enough, the unmistakable smell of Old Spice hits my nose. And I know where the world's greatest storyteller is. Because there, in the corner of the living room, is my grandfather, taking the opportunity of my grandmother being busy, sneaking a quick drink from the liquor cabinet. I remember his features. White hair parted down the middle, combed left and right, glasses oval and large, clean shaven, and wearing a pale blue t-shirt with his college emblem. And it was washed so many times that it was almost white. And he makes a gesture at me, shh, as he grabs a bottle of whiskey and steers me into the office room. He sits me down on a black footstool as he sits down in his gray office chair. And he grabs a large red hard-covered storybook and sits down. And my grandfather starts a story. A long time ago, there was a young prince who had everything in the world in his palace. Out of boredom, he issued a challenge to his people saying, I want to hear the best story in the world. People came from far and wide, but nobody could please the prince. Until one day, suddenly, my grandmother walks into the office room. Story time over because she sees the whiskey glass on the table. My grandfather is in for trouble. A few weeks later, I go back and I ask my grandfather to continue the story. And he tells me, the prince one day suddenly gets a note saying, come to the great hall at night and you will hear the greatest story that has ever been told. And that night, the prince walks in. The great hall is pitch black. And a voice calls out, Praveen! That was my mother, ready to take me away from my grandfather's house. Unfortunately, I never did hear to get that story. Life got in the way. And I never did hear another story from my grandfather for a long time. Recently, I got married and I was packing up to go to my new house. And while cleaning out my cupboard, I find a large red hard-covered storybook. And I'm instantly not 30 years old anymore. I'm 8 years old, just a little bit shorter than I am now. And I remember wearing my favorite vest. And I remember the story that never ended. I turned the pages of the book and I saw a page folded where my grandfather had stopped. The great hall, which was pitch black, and a voice called out, sit down, young prince, and I will tell you a tale. And the voice told a story so captivating that he didn't notice the first light, which revealed the storyteller to be none other than the prince's bodyguard. And the prince asked, astounded, how can you be the greatest storyteller in the world? You have always been in the palace. You have never told me stories. And the bodyguard says, people spend their life looking for great stories. But my prince, we forget to sit beside the storytellers already in our lives. And ladies and gentlemen, I miss my grandfather. What I would give to have heard this entire story again from my grandfather to the very end. Ladies and gentlemen, aren't we blessed with storytellers around us? But how often do we sit and enjoy the company of the storyteller? Don't we have friends who run to us saying, my God, we have the best story to tell you? Don't we have parents who tell us, hey, the craziest thing happened at the grocery store today? And how about a spouse who comes back to share the office gossip? But we really don't want to know about Stephanie's new hair color. But don't you think that it's never the story that they're excited about, but it's just the listener that they're hoping would listen to them? Don't wait 23 years to pay attention to the storyteller. Listen to the storyteller while they're still in the room, because the story can never replace the storyteller. Thank you. Over to you.
Wow, thank you so much, Ivan, for your captivating story. I agree with you that storyteller already in our life, and the story will never replace the storyteller. Thank you so much. Let's move on to our third speaker. Let me introduce our third speaker. Our third speaker is part-time lecturer with teaching experience across 4 countries. She contributes to her university media section and hosts the YouTube channel Coffee with Lina. She's the co-founder of Indian social hub Hanoi and work with organizations such as Indian Chamber of Commerce to help individuals build confidence, find their voice, and communicate with clarity and purpose. Today, she will give her project speech from her pathway innovative planning, and she will be evaluated by Sita Satirika. May I invite Sita to share our third speaker objective speech, please.
Thank you very much, Madam Toastmaster of the day. So today, Akolina, like you said, would be attempting her level 4 second speech on her project, which the project objectives, if I may read out. This project is, the purpose of this project is for the member to develop a plan, build a team, and fulfill the plan with the help of her team. So I presume that she has already done her first speech, and this is the second speech where she has to deliver some aspect from her experience of managing this project. I'll hand over the virtual platform to the Toastmaster of the day to introduce the speaker and the title.
Thank you so much, Sita. Akolina, are you ready?
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. And
Yes. Can you see me?
Yeah? All right.
Can you see me?
Toastmaster? Yeah, I can see you. All right, fellow Toastmaster, please welcome our third speaker with her speech title, Still Working on It.
Thank you. How many of you think that planning is the most important part of our project? I have discussed about this in my first speech, and this is the second speech of my project. I run one YouTube channel. There invite guests from diverse background for discussing diverse topics. 10 months ago, I decided to create a cultural video for my YouTube channel. My first job was to find the right partner. For me, finding someone, it's really an easy task because I have a lot of friends. Some of them are from Gen Z, some of them are teenagers, some of them are boomers, and of course, there are millennials too. When I started my idea with one of my friends, shared my idea with one of my friends, she immediately agreed to be the part of this project. However, there was one challenge. Her schedule and my schedule is completely different. She is busy in the evening and I am busy in the morning. So the big question is, how will we do the recording? I was still working on that. Finally, she was ready to record the video on her day off. Everything seemed perfect. But suddenly, she received a call from her institution asking her to cover a class on that very day. I thought it's okay. We can always choose another day. we schedule another day. Time, I was mentally for the recording. Everything was almost set and sorted, but I was a bit worried as we were planning to include a dance performance together in the video. That time, she had been sick. So we canceled the plan again. We fixed another day. Unfortunately, that time also she was busy with unexpected family commitment and couldn't make it. So we postponed that again. It happens, right? When you are working with your team. I was still working on that. Finally, both of us were excited and ready to record. But guess what happened? Our cameraman was busy with another commitment. He failed to turn up. In this way, we changed and rescheduled our plan 6 different times. But the interesting thing was we didn't lose our patience. We were determined to complete the project. During the entire journey, I realized something important. Execution is more difficult than planning. I was very proud of myself before this project. Do you know why? As my husband always tells me, I am very good at planning. But through this project, I realized he's wrong. That planning is just the beginning. The real challenge is when you are working in a team. Still working on it. Planning or execution. Many of us make beautiful plans. We plan our goals, our projects, our dreams, but how many of those plans do we really execute successfully? We originally planned to create the video 6 months in advance, but it took 4 more months just to execute the plan, and another 1 month for the final production, total 11 months. First planning, then replanning, adjusting the schedule, and trying again. Still, I'm working on it. Planning or execution. But finally, 1 month ago, we released the video. So the biggest lesson I learned, good things take time. They don't happen overnight. They happen over time. This entire project taught me 3 valuable lessons: patience, persistence, and continuous follow-up. Many times we had to change our plan because of team members' unavailability or unexpected circumstances. As a project leader, I had to attune to the all team members. I had to see the emotional well-being of them also. But I kept following up and stayed committed to the goal. At the end, we made it. So my friends, which one do you think is more important, planning or execution? Just work on it. Back to you.
Oh, wow. Wonderful speech. Thank you, Apolina, for sharing your project planning with us. Sometimes project is not only about perfection, but also about persistence and learning along the way. A good thing takes time. Congratulations on your project planning, Apolina. Now, let's move on to our last speaker. Okay, our last speaker is product manager at London Stock Exchange Group. She is currently secretary at Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters. Today, She's not going to deliver her project pathway, but also for international speech contest. And she'll be evaluated by Mariam A. Chahedi. I would like to invite Mariam to share the objective of the speaker.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mariam Shahidi. I will be the evaluator of Sanara's speech titled Spotlight. And of course, I will give, even if I'm a beginner, I will give her all my comments. Okay, and I hope her good luck. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Mariam. Sanara, are you ready?
Yes, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and visible. Hello, Toastmaster. Please welcome our last speaker, Sanara Maranti, with her speech title, Spotlight. Sanara, 5 to 7 minute time is yours.
Spotlights, camera, action. Madam Toastmaster of the day and my fellow attention masters. I was just 6 when I was showered by the spotlight. It was at a carnival. I was there with my parents. The Ferris wheel spinning, the popcorn popping, games bustling. But my true fascination was a tall man in a white suit wearing a white hat. And he had a microphone in his hand. But for me, it was like a magic wand he used to command everyone's attention. Now I desperately wanted his attention. So like a curious little monkey, I loosened the grip of my parents' hands and took one step towards the man and another, while knowing exactly where my parents are. I finally reached the man and confidently said, "I can't find my parents." "What's your name, darling?" "Sanara." The man held my hand, took out his magic wand, and announced, "Lost child, lost child. Little Sanara is looking for her parents." Best feeling ever. All eyes on me. I was showered by the spotlight. What was the craziest thing you have done for attention? Well, I felt super famous for like 5 seconds because my parents, who were just 5 meters away, found me and dragged me home. But this moment lived with me forever. Later, I joined a bunch of attention masters, and I was showered by the spotlight for 5 to 7 minutes on a weekly basis. Enough attention for a lifetime. Well, it didn't end here. It continued to my workplace. And I became the go-to person to welcome clients, deliver farewell speeches, hype people up at random Friday night quizzes. It was glorious to be showered by the spotlight. People knowing your name. But something was missing. I wanted to be like that man, commanding attention, creating magic. Instead, I felt like a clown, being pushed to the front. Sanara, make them happy, make them laugh, hype them up. I wanted to create real impact with the spotlight. One day, during a very difficult period at work, my friend Rashmi came running towards me. Now, Rashmi is as sweet and as silent, like our sergeant at arms when on mute. Now, Rashmi told me, Sanara, I have good news and bad news. I went for the good news. That's great news. Congratulations. Well, I thought that was amazing. What more bad news? And she continued. My husband lost his job last week. And on top of that, everyone at work is talking about a possible layoff. I think I'm at risk, Sanara. Nobody is telling the truth. How would you console a friend at a time like this? Well, I just replied with the generic, it'll be fine, Rashmi. But honestly, I didn't know if it was going to be fine or worse. Few days later, an emergency all-staff meeting was called. The employees walked into the auditorium anxiously. The management spoke. But the elephant in the room was not addressed. Finally, the CEO asked, "All right, are there any questions?" I looked at Rashmi. Ask. But her face was pale yellow. The CEO continued. All right, we can wrap things up. I can see your hand going up. Well, that was my hand. I tried to hide, but it was too late because the CEO saw me and he was walking towards me with a magic wand. I grabbed the microphone, asked the uncomfortable question. So, will our jobs be safe? Pin, drop, silence. All eyes on me. But this time, I wasn't seeking for the spotlight on me. I was seeking for a spot to light. Rush me. The CEO walked back on stage and replied, "No. Nobody is going to lose their jobs." I looked at Rashmi, her little growing belly. She was bright and shining, almost as if there was a huge spotlight on her. This was a truly fulfilling spotlight moment for me. Fellow attention masters, the fame, the glory, to be showered by the spotlight. It's great, isn't it? But without impact, is it even meaningful? What's your magic wand? Is it your voice, your influence, or that shiny title you have? Find a spot to light using your spotlight. Over to you. Oh, wow. Thank you so much, Sanala. That was a unique and powerful speech. Some people love spotlight, some maybe feel overwhelming. Thank you for your inspiring speech and for showing us what it means to you to step into the spotlight. Now we already have 4 speakers sharing their wonderful speech with all of us. Before we move on to the next session, I would like to invite our timer to present the timing report for all speakers. Please welcome our timer, Leticia Daly.
So, congratulations to all the speakers of tonight. So, for my report, from Michelle spoke for 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Praveen spoke for 6 minutes and 30 seconds. Akulina, 6 minutes and 27 seconds. And Sanara, 7 minutes and 37 seconds. Thank you, and back to you.
Thank you so much, our timer, Leticia. We have heard 4 previous speeches sharing their various experience and story. Now it's time to move to impromptu speaking. So before I hand over to our table topic master, allow me to introduce himself. Our table topic master is past president of Pinnacle Advent Toastmaster and avid leader. He is joining from Finland. So please welcome our table topic master, Mario Mayanta.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure being your table topics master for the day. I have a session for 10 minutes. So we have volunteer the right back. So just for me to give you a small background of my thought process for the table topic session. Across cultures, wisdom is distilled into small lines, which are called proverbs. So I thought we'll see across the world, using certain proverbs, how transformation, leadership, and empowerment comes into play. So we have E.T. as the first speaker. So let me first share the presentation. So E.T., the proverb is from Iran. A drop by drop, a river is made. And your topic is what small moment or action in your life became a catalyst for a meaningful change? Toastmaster E.T., what small moment or action in your life became a catalyst for a meaningful change?
Okay, can you hear me and see me before I start?
Yes.
Okay, I'll start. Hello, welcome to Toastmasters Club. And in this club, you will learn how to become a better leader, a better listener, and also a better friend. Friend? Am I heard the right word for Toastmasters? Toastmasters is not just a friend. Toastmasters is family. It attunes our relationship. And this is the small moment of action in my life that changed my life completely. Joining Toastmasters after delaying for 10 years. I knew Toastmasters when I was in the university as a student. I was always inspired, amazed by the great speaker in front of the stage or in front of the lecture. How the grand states make them wonderful. And I say, one day I will be there. And everybody there laugh at me. Oh, why you laugh at me? So I went back to my university and completely forget about those masters. I felt hurt. They laugh at me. But yes, 10 years skip, I know the meaning. They are not laughing at my goals or dreams. They are laughing because they love me. They say that I'm funny. And they said this word. I think you know about these sentences. I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. Ilios, so you need to join Toastmasters to figure it out. And that word, that sentence, make me sign up to join Toastmasters. Back to you.
Interesting, powerful of a hook line. Even after 12 years, it comes up in speeches. I see something in you. Thank you very much, E.T., for that wonderful, inspiring speech. Next, Farhaz from, okay, let's say Farhaz from both the clubs has volunteered to do the table topic session. So let me share, Farhaz, your topic. Okay. The country is Israel, and the proverb is, who is wise? One who learns from every person. And Farhaz, your topic. Can leadership exist without the humility to learn from others? Toastmaster Farhaz, can leadership exist without the humility to learn from others?
Mr. Table Topics Master, dear friends, my thought as I see this takes me back to the days of the Mughal Empire in India, specifically to an emperor who was named Akbar the Great. Well, his real name was Jalaluddin Muhammad, but he was called Akbar because they gave him the appellation of the Great. But why did Akbar become great? Well, yes, he was a great warrior. He was a great politician. He did run the administration reasonably well. But more than that, Akbar was known to have advisors. Very specifically, there was a group who were called the 9 Jewels of Akbar's Court, the Navaratna. And whenever anything was needed to be discussed, Akbar made it a point to discuss among this group. And in this group, there were people from all walks of life, from all faiths, and with all different mental capacities and abilities. And Akbar used every single one of them as his advisors, as his counselors. And history has today told us and shown us that Jalaluddin Muhammad, the guy who couldn't read or write, got the appellation, got the honorific of Akbar the Great. Of course, because of his ability, but also because he had the humility to go around and ask people whom he trusted, people who he thought knew better than him, to guide him and to take their advice. Friends, what's stopping us from being humble, from having enough humility to seek advice, to seek counsel when necessary? If something does show up and we feel that a little bit of advice would help, please just let's go ahead and ask for it, because that is the path to true leadership. Back to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Farhaz. I think it was a good, quick lesson on history as well, world history. Good job. Now I need a volunteer. First 2 volunteers came up fast. Third speaker, if you can just drop your name on the chat box.
There's a hand raised.
Yeah.
I know who is this. I can't see.
Isabel. Somebody call Isabel.
Yes.
Isabel. Okay. Okay, Isabel. Let me just share your topic. Hold on for a second. We have this. Okay, if you can see, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. This is from USA, and your topic. Do voices create change because they are right, or simply because they are loud? Toastmaster Isabel, do voices create change because they are right, or simply because they are loud? Screen is yours.
Do you feel that sometimes when it comes to projects or perhaps leadership position, you know that you are capable of doing things, but of course there are people who are maybe they are capable, but they are in cahoots with people who are much more influential. And these people are loud because they voice out the things that they want. Just like in our relationships, or perhaps in our workplaces, to have a promotion, you actually need to voice out. It's not just about saying things or doing things, the right things, or being hardworking, staying late at night. And don't you feel that sometimes the hardworking person don't really get the appreciation that they actually want? And that is where there is a difference between someone who wants to change or someone who is loud. What we can learn from here is that there is a need to balance between both of them. The reason is because when you get to the role itself, you get to those leadership role, or you get to the position that you want in your workplace, you realize that hardworking alone does not help, or being loud itself does not help, because people will eventually see the things that you are incapable of. And that is where the imposter syndrome comes out. And then you realize that, I'm really not that great, but because I have the help of people who are much more influential, much more louder, and kind of influence me to actually have more voice. And then you realize that maybe I should really be the hardworking person who does the job well and also knows how to voice out. So my friends, the change and being loud, I would say that you need to have both to know what you want to ask for and also be hardworking so that people could actually learn from you and you can also influence them, and not just being loud, because being loud only is like being an empty tin where it's so noisy inside but it's hollow. Back to you, Toastmasters of the day.
Thank you very much, Isabel, for those inspiring words. So the last opportunity, who would like to grab it? Any volunteers?
I think we have Yogin.
Pardon me, who's that?
We have Yogin.
Yoga.
Oh, yoga.
Yoga, okay.
Yoga.
Yoga. Right. Okay,
Mhm.
yoga, this will be your topic. So we did this earlier. Okay, this proverb is from Russia. A word is not a sparrow. Once it flies out, you cannot catch it. And your topic, what responsibility do leaders carry for the words they speak? Toastmaster Yoga. What responsibility do leaders carry for the words they speak? The screen is yours.
Table topic master, friends from all around the world, greetings to you. I think words have immense power. Words can uplift somebody or words can bury them. Words can break somebody or words can make people fall in love. I think words have a lot of power and any leader should be aware of it and should take responsibility for it. I remember the story of how Lee Kuan Yew, during his initial time of leading the great country of Singapore, he was faced with a dilemma where his very close friend was accused of corruption. And what he said to the friend was, you face the punishment. I cannot do anything. I cannot save you just because you're a friend. And he stood to what his principles were. And he used those words very carefully. And behavior like that, leadership like that is what matters to the world at a time like this. There are people who are very happy to send children of others to war, to bomb places where children lose their lives. But at the same time, there are leaders who are, irrespective of how much pressure they are having, they go out and they speak for peace. They beg for peace. They stand up for peace. And them using those words very carefully is what matters. Usually in a society, what matters is not a few people standing up and speaking for what is right or what is wrong, but the majority who are silent. I believe it is not only the responsibility of the leaders to stand up for what is right, but also it is a responsibility of each one person to stand up for what is right and what is wrong. When we do that, our leaders will also be of the same way. If not, all what we can always do is to sip our coffee and judge everybody else for what they do, what they stand up, and what they speak. I believe the ideal world is one where we will be able to stand up for everything that we believe in and we can speak our truth. Over to you, David Podcast.
Very thought-provoking speech. Thank you, Yoga. On the chat box, we have a request for one last speaker. Oh, okay. Yes. T.M. Modi says time is up. So I hope from Iran to Israel to USA to Russia, we explored Proverbs and the current relevance of it through our own speakers' voices. A round of applause to everybody, a virtual round of applause. And back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Pebble Topic Master Mario, for conducting a living and engaging session. I really love the question. It's very relevant with our current situation. In short time, we have diverse and unique story from all table topic speaker, and thank you for all table topic speaker for stepping up. And apologies already over time, so it's time to move to our last session. Our last session is the essential part of Toastmaster meeting, evaluation. And this session will be led by our general evaluator. Please welcome our general evaluator, Banduran Kamarachi.
Mr. Bandula, you're on mute, I believe.
Thank you for reminding. I almost missed it. Welcome back, and thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, for an excellent job. In the interest of time, let's try to somehow the other catch up. The first task is to perform the evaluations of prepared speeches. The first speech was from Toastmaster Michelle from the United States of Pinnacle, and her speech will be evaluated by Toastmaster Kalpana A. De Silva. Floor is yours, Madam Kalpana.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Michelle, what a wonderful job done as completing your icebreaker. Let me try and find you. Is Michelle in the room?
Yeah.
I can't pin
Michelle
her.
is
I
very much
hope you're
there.
there, Michelle.
She's there.
I can't pin
very
you,
much
Michelle. I'm sorry. I hope you're there. So
No,
I
she's there.
absolutely
She's there.
enjoyed your icebreaker. And here's what I really liked about it. I loved getting to know you. I learned that you have a very busy Saturday morning. I learned that you have grandkids. I learned where you live. And I've learned about your whole journey of Toastmasters. I thought that was brilliantly done. Second thing, your humor from the moment you said ghost, I was laughing. I was trying not to overly laugh to the camera so that I won't distract you. I thought you had so much of humor scattered all over your speech. How loving the R counter is something strange. How the timer's role is very different over there, and in your area, in your video screen, I really, really loved it. Third is your expression. I understand an online environment may not be the most ideal for a speech, but I thought you were very effective. You tried to bring in gestures, you moved in and out, like closer to the screen and away from the screen when you want to make a point. You would nod your head. I thought that was brilliantly done. Very much enjoyed it. Now let's see where I think you can improve. I would like to suggest two areas. The first one is, let's see how you can get a little bit more creative with your icebreaker, because the title and your opening and the whole, when you said three things I like about Toastmasters, it was kind of giving everything away. There was no suspense created. It doesn't make me imagine if it was a book. I would want to have some suspense so that I keep going, right? I would like you to make it a little bit more creative. Maybe change the title from Why I Love Toastmasters, Why I Love What I Love. Then you're not giving away everything in one go, right? Maybe instead of talking about your entire journey in one go, maybe you can put it into different steps and say, on this, see, I did this, and then I did this. Something like that, just for us to get a little bit suspenseful about what you're really going on about. And that will also carry me over to my next point of being a little bit more precise, because you only have 4 to 6 minutes to talk about your entire life, sum it up, and bring in the highlights, right? I felt that you digressed a little bit, especially at the start, from your life to maybe your favorite speaker or your favorite speech. Perhaps you can cut short that and include a little bit more about your life, which is what I am most interested in knowing. Thank you for that amazing icebreaker, Michelle. Congratulations. I loved everything about the speech that I highlighted, the humor of it, what I got to know about it, your expressions. Work on being a little bit more creative and a little bit more precise. Congratulations, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Kalpana De Silva, for an excellent performance evaluation. And our next task is to evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Praveen Nanayakkara, and that honor goes to Toastmaster Ram. Toastmaster Ram, stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. I can't believe I was given the hardest evaluation of the entire meeting. Where are you, young man? There you are, Praveen. So let me just quickly put spotlight on for everyone. There you are. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the judging criteria as we talked about earlier. Why? Because I think that's probably the easiest way to give you some feedback that you can then use. So first of all, speech development, which talks about structure, organization, and any support material. You talked, sorry, but the very first thing that you did was you said, "Ah, my beautiful audience." And the story started off with our speaker as a young child. He then talked to the storyteller, his grandfather, and how he shared this incredible story with the 8-year-old Praveen. The change then happened where, it happens to all of us. You got married, you have your own children, and your life becomes busy. And then you find this storybook again, and that takes you back in time. You missed your grandfather. Now, this is all good stuff in the speech development. I've got a recommendation over here. So the very first thing is that opening line doesn't really add anything to your story. Yeah, yes, it's nice to be polite, but who cares, right? So I would go along the lines of maybe the story can never replace the storyteller. So that's a really important phrase that you use at the very end. So maybe a variation on that is just a suggestion. Yeah. What would you give to hear a story from your favorite storyteller? Something like that. Yeah. Other than that, I think your structure was really good. Effectiveness, great speech. I was engaged throughout and I couldn't wait to hear what happened next. So top marks on that one. No, there's no recommendations. Speech value, again, I think the speech is good. It reminds us of our own parents where they were too busy to even tell us stories. I'm glad your grandfather did. I don't remember my dad telling me stories, so I was kind of jealous as well. So, but it gave me parallels with your own story, which is good because all of a sudden now we have a connection with you. Now, moving on to physical, great use of gestures. Can somebody, Eliza, are you there? Can you please let people into the waiting room, please? Well, great use of gestures, purposeful. I like the way, you added to the story. People randomly do this, but for you, they were purposeful and added to your story and your speech. Fantastic. Is there a recommendation? My only recommendation is twofold. Number one, you're sitting down, so stand up, number one. And number two, from time to time, you lost eye contact. And this may not be applicable when you're standing up because you're now delivering to an audience. Yeah, but just bear that in mind. It looked like you were reading from your notes, but I'm just point at the camera instead. Just look at the camera. Other than that, well done. Vocal variety, very good vocal variety. Using sound effects, pausing for effect. The opportunity here, I think, is in your speech, you had 3 characters, you, your grandfather, your grandmother, maybe an opportunity to mimic their voices. So you're then using even more vocal variety. But other than that, your vocal variety was really good, by the way. Yeah, so this is, I'm being really picky, by the way. Mannerisms, enthusiastic throughout, no sign of nerves, appropriate of a speech. This was a great speech, worthy of an international speech contest. The only thing that I think was missing was the final call to action. So me as a listener, what do I take away from it apart from I was entertained? Yeah. So what is the call to action? I think you had something there, but you didn't close it off. Right now, maybe I'll come back onto that if I have time. Correctness and grammar pronunciation, lots of great words and phrases used throughout, using descriptive language as well. You told us, what you wore when you were 8 years old. The smell of your grandfather's Old Spice hitting the nose reminded me of my father using Old Spice as well, by the way. Just shows how old I am. And sneaking a drink from the liquor cabinet, all of those things added to the story and created a picture in my mind, which is fantastic. So call to action. So I liked the way you used, don't you have friends? Don't we have friends? And you repeated that prefix to each of your sentence. But I think there's an opportunity that, as I said, to roll up a call to action in there for us. So as a takeaway, what is my takeaway? Yeah, don't wait 23 years. But I think you can find something better than I can come up with. Overall, fantastic speech. I really loved it. As I said, I'm just being really picky because you asked me to be picky. Well done, Praveen. It was an honor to evaluate your speech and listen to your speech today. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Excellent, detailed, comprehensive evaluation, Toastmaster Ram, the incumbent Sergeant at Arms of WTC. Well done. The third speech is from Toastmaster Harmonic, whose speech would be evaluated by distinguished Toastmaster Sita Kadiragamanathan, and it's your task. And before handing over reins to Sita, evaluators, I would kindly be obliged if you can stick to 3-minute time slot, which would be ideal. Thank you. And over to you, Sita.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So congratulations, Akulina, on completing your project first and foremost. So if I was to start off as to what I loved about your speech, Akulina, the first thing that even though it was a technical project that you did, you had a beautiful storytelling right throughout the speech. From the time you asked us this question, how many of you think that planning is very important? You got our attention there. And right throughout the speech, you kept my attention wondering what exactly happened. Did you finally produce that YouTube video? Because you kept us on suspense. And I wanted to listen and see whether you achieved whatever you were setting out to achieve for your project. So very well done. You kept our audience attention, even though we are connecting virtually. So that was something that you did brilliantly. I thought a great storyteller you are. And not only that, you gave us a good message at the end, saying that even though planning is something that is at the beginning, it is not everything. And execution is something that really matters, and good things take time. So I thought it was brilliant that you gave us a message in a technical project where you managed to complete the project. Although it was planned for 6 months, it dragged on for 11 months. And we were wondering, did you actually finish it? And you kept telling us, I'm still working on it, I'm still working on it. And then you gave us that concluding message where you did tell us that, yes, you finished the project with your friend. And also, not only that, you gave us that call to action in your speech. So very well done. Great storytelling ability. Managed to keep the audience hooked right throughout your speech. And also a very good message given to all of us that it's not overnight that you can achieve success. Good things do take time, Akulina. So well done on that. What I think that you could do a bit differently, I don't know, you did say that you do dance at your video. I noted that you had kept, if I was to show on my this thing, your palms kept for every sentence that you spoke. I think you had a gesture. Since this is a speech that you are giving, I would suggest, because if you want to say something very important, keep your hands by your side if you are not using it to demonstrate something that you really want. Now, if you want to say one, you can, but not every single time you need to have those open palm gestures. You can keep it by your side if it's not needed, so that we focus more on what you are saying, considering that it is a speech that you're giving. And the second thing that I would have loved to know, Akulina, is you mentioned that your friend who was busy the day that you were going to shoot the video, the next day she was busy, but I do not know how she looks like. Maybe a small characterization. My tall curly haired friend, and also give her a name probably, so that we know. Then it will be easy for you to relate, saying, okay, this speechcraft or Toastmaster Michelle, who was my friend, who was with me in this project, and also the cameraman. Just if you can characterize it, it will be coming across as more authentic. And the third thing is, you did keep telling us you're still working at it. At one point, I got a bit confused as to whether you have completed the project. I would have liked it if you had used the title where one of your Toastmaster club members or your family members are asking you, Akulina, when are you going to finish this project? And then you tell them I'm still working on it, because at one point I got a bit confused because you used that sentence quite frequently, but we did get to know that you finished the project. So overall, if you can just improve on your characterization, giving names, describing them a bit, and also reduce a bit on the gestures, especially when you're trying to give out that important message to all of us. And also when you have that dialogues or interactions with the friend, it will make it more impactful. But overall, you're a great storyteller. I absolutely love the way you told us about your project. I lived it with you for that 7 minutes, even though you ran through it for 11 months. And you managed to keep all our audience's attention, which is absolutely wonderful. Congratulations and well done. And back to you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster Bandula Gamarachi.
It's again an excellent delivery of a performance evaluation. Thank you very much, DTM Sita Kadrigamnathan. And the last but not the least, it is time for evaluation of Toastmaster Sanara Premratna's speech, which honors task now goes to Toastmaster Marian Michadi. It's your job now, madam.
Okay. Good evening, fellow friends, and especially to you, my speaker, Sanara. Today, I had the great honor evaluating your speech. Spotlight. What a great opening. Your speech, or your opening made me and the audience really want to hear more. Your speech was very structured, with a great storytelling technique. Your speech spotlight was in a different level with your vocal variety and body language. Your movements really bring audience to your story who don't want to be in the spotlight. And you told us with your story the quality of the spotlight. What a great message. I believe many people agree with your message that we have our strength that can be our spotlight from our voice or title. Whatever we have, the impact that we can give to the world is something more important. If I can give you some suggestions, maybe you can give a little humor on your speech so we can have more mixed feelings when we are hearing your speech. Other than that, I love the speech. Thank you for your message. I hope all of us can give impact to the world. And thank you for reminding us that sometimes the most important step we can take is the courage to walk into the spotlight. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Wonderful job, very well carried out, and especially for a self-proclaimed newcomer. Well done. Now is the major part of evaluations are over. It's now time to call for reports from various other role players. The first goes to the grammarian Toastmaster Kim Low. Toastmaster Kim Low.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, General Evaluator Badu. Let me share my slides. Okay, so the first part is the word of the day. There's 3 persons who used the word attune: Michelle 1 time, Letitia 1, and myself 1. But I had such a great pleasure listening to all the speeches and the evaluation and the wonderful sentences and words that was expressed today at the meeting. So, but before I go on to the excellent phrases, I just want to correct a pronunciation for the word determine. It's not determine, it is determine. That is how it is pronounced. Let's go on to the excellent phrases and words. Michelle, electric. I love the word eclectic. We mean broad and varied styles. And the word catalyst that Michelle used 4 times in her speech is a very powerful word in relation to her speech. It means something that triggers change faster. Praveen, captivating. And another one from Praveen is the story cannot replace the storyteller. It's such a powerful message at the end of your speech. And the very descriptive imagery personification is the spice hit the nose. It gives that very vivid image in our mind. Akolina, good things takes time. And you also have a phrase, patient, persistence, and continuous follow-up. I just would like to suggest to make it an triad alliteration, maybe instead of continuous following up, just use the word pursuit. Pursuit actually means continuous follow-up. Just a suggestion. Let's continue. Zanara, if I am the judge and I have to judge you on the last part of the speech on languages and grammars, I'll give you the full 15%. So Zanara, showered by the spotlight. Such a beautiful sentence. It's a personification. Popcorn popping, alliterated onomatopoeia, and hype up people. Elephant in the room is an idiom, and pin drop silence, a hyperbole and a very vivid word. So this beautiful sentence Sonora have used in her speech kind of create a very vivid imagery in our mind. Let me continue. Isabel, Kahoot, love your words, and the word imposter syndrome, that means feeling like a fraud. Yogan, words have immense power, and majority who are silenced. Kapana, digress, lovely word. Ramesh, mimic, and Maryam, mixed feeling. So these are all the beautiful words and phrases that I have picked up throughout the meeting. And with that, I'm back to you, Badu.
Wonderful. Excellent job, because it takes effort, time, and courage to be an effective grammarian. You have done justice to your job.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Next is the report of the accountant, most dreaded job, most probably, and that onerous task goes to Toastmaster Buddhinath Hangavatta. Buddhinath, stage is all yours.
Thank you very much, Mr. General Evaluator, Toastmaster Bandhu. So I will go through my report through the speakers in the order of their appearance throughout the meeting. Starting with our Toastmaster of the evening, Dian, you had a clean slate so far. I hope you maintain that until the end of the meeting. Kim, our grammarian, you had a clean slate as well. Letitia, timer, you had a clean slate so far. Bandhu, so far you are maintaining a good record. Then Kalpana, I notice that this is not really flagging the accountant's report, but I noticed you said really, really loved it. Knowing your expertise, I think you can go for a better choice of words instead of repeating the same phrase. Then Michelle, I would say you had a clean slate, even though I noticed 2 phrases which you repeated, saying very, 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 and many, many, many. But in my view, it added color and flavor to your speech, so I wouldn't flag it as anything unnecessary or removing the value of your speech. So that's good. Then Toastmaster Ramesh, during your evaluation, I noticed you had 5 sounds, and you also had one phrase, it happens to all of us. I noticed it as more of a slip of the tongue than a habit that you are using that phrase, but just thought of sharing it with you. Then Praveen, you had a clean slate. Sita, you tends to have so at the beginning of some sentences, which is adding no value at all. For example, so congratulations, so overall. Likewise, you had 3 occurrences of so. Akulina, you had 1 use of so, which didn't add any value in the sentence, so my friends. And then, so that was that for you. And Mariam, you had one R and one Then Sanara, I would say you had a clean slate, but I wanted to share this with regards to pauses. This also comes in the way of how you group the words, right? For example, you say, I was just 6 years old. But does that pause really add any value? And I notice such pauses throughout your speech. If you eliminate them, you will still stay within your time limit for the speech as well. And also you had a phrase saying, for like 5 seconds. I don't think the like add any value to your phrase there. Then for Mario, you had at the beginning you had one R and then a small hiccup at the beginning as well, and 2 long pauses, which doesn't really flag our counters report because I noticed that you were using those pauses when you were trying to say the words with regards to Iran, Israel, USA, and Russia. So probably you wanted to navigate the waters carefully, but I noticed 2 long pauses there. ET, you had a clean slate. Farhaz, of course, you had a clean slate. Isabel, I noticed you had 2 small pauses when you were trying to figure out the next phrase, but besides that, you had a good run. And finally, Yoga, you had 4 this time. For example, in the phrases, words can have power, that was one use, and then send others' children to war. It's a bit of a touchy subject, sensitive. Pauses are necessary, but filling that with a doesn't really add value in my view. That's it for the R counters report, and back to you, General Evaluate.
Once again, thank you very much for a wonderful job, because I would have dreaded to carry out this task for an international audience of this nature. It's a daunting task, very well executed. Thank you so much. And it's now my time to wrap up the general evaluation part. The 2 VP8s, I believe, behind the scene, executed an excellent job in forwarding a near perfect agenda, which set the tone for the meeting. Next, we commenced the meeting almost on time, given that it's an international audience ranging from Far East to North America. Is understandable. It's highly commendable effort to start at least almost by the appointed time. The audience was very much attuned to the given situation of diversion, equity, and inclusion. Kudos to everybody for that effort. Toastmaster of the day carried out an excellent job, followed by the table topic master. I have to commend the table topic master specifically for picking some inspiring topics with a universal blend. That was a very heartening note. The timer carried out a wonderful job, because her timing transitions were clearly visible to the entire audience, which made things so easy for me, especially in picking up on exceptional delays on the part of various performers. Our counters report again was very helpful. It's a tough job, a job I always hated. Grammarian, as I commented, she was very attentive, very careful in picking up all the important points. Perhaps, with due respect, Toastmaster Kim, if there were any weak areas, you could have probably highlighted them without pointing out names, because this is a mature audience. Then the evaluators, they all executed their work to a nicety, except that they got carried away with their allotted time. With regard to the agenda and the timetable given, I'm not sure whether the timer's report could be delivered in a matter of 1 minute. Likewise, the accountant's report too. So going forward, maybe you have to allow at least 2 or 3 minutes for that task, because there are so many players to be taken care of. However, overall, given the circumstances, especially, it is something like addressing an international conference or dealing with an international conference, because we have members coming from different nationalities, and most of them we are seeing for the first time. Given that situation, I think meeting was conducted exceptionally well. For that, I think we have to applaud the Toastmaster of the day, who took all pains to ensure that everything ran smoothly. So with that, back to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Dan.
Thank you so much, our General Evaluator, Vandula, for valuable evaluation and feedback to all role players and our meetings. It's time for us to take group photo. So everyone, please turn on your camera. Ramesh, can you take a picture, please?
I can do, yes, please turn on your smiley faces and your camera. It'll be good. How do you do that, Hakeem? How do you do that? There you go. All right, fantastic. Isabel, if you can, Letitia, if you can, turn on your camera. There you go. Let's take a couple of photos. Thank you very much for turning your cameras on. Second screen. Lovely. Thank you very much, Deanne. I have photos.
All right. Thank you so much, Ramesh. All right. I think it's time for me to turning back the floor of the meeting to our president from Pinnacle Advent Toastmaster. Over to you, Donna Balasurya.
Thank you very much, Madam Master, for the meeting. Wow, what an exemplary was to all the role players, speakers, and evaluators. Let's give a big, thunderous round of applause. Job very well done. I thoroughly enjoyed the meeting, and also the Toastmaster of the meeting. Toastmaster Diane, you had a smile throughout, and you brought in that positive to this meeting. What a wonderful job done. Let's give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Diane as well. And also my heartfelt thanks to the Toastmasters of World Travelers, Toastmasters Club, Toastmasters Hamami, the president, and the executive committee for welcoming all the members of Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters Club here. And also a huge big thank to the members of Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters Club for the overwhelming support, because it's the second meeting for the week, and you've nothing but been a great strength. I do hope all of you really enjoyed this collaboration as much as I did. So cheers to many more meetings like future. And now let me hand over the control back to the Toastmaster of the President of World Toastmasters Club, Toastmaster Hamami.
Thank you, President of Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters, Donna. Special thank you from me as well. Thank you very much to World Travelers Toastmasters Club members and members of Pinnacle Advanced Toastmasters Club. I really enjoyed today's meeting. Amazing speeches, table topics, and excellent organization. I would like to give special thanks to two hardworking VPEs, Krishanti and Phoebe as well. We always learn a lot from this combined meeting, as each Toastmasters Club has different spices added on to their meetings. And finally, I would like to say special gratitude to all the members who participated to today's meeting. March 11th was our 4th anniversary, and we are happy to invite all of you to our anniversary celebration on March 21st, which is next Saturday at the same time, same Zoom link. I'm happy to meet you, all of you again, at our meeting again. Once again, I am honored to see you all today. And now it's very late for me and very late for some of you as well. So I would now like to adjourn the meeting. I would like to stay with you more, but I will now adjourn the meeting. Thank you very much. With gratitude. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone. See
Thank
you.
you,
Thank
everyone. Take
you.
care.
Thanks,
Have a good
everyone.
weekend.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
See you soon.
Well done. Bye.
Well done.
Tamami,
Yes?
I know Sanara, you know. I knew
Sayonara?
Sanara actually. I know Sanara. She's my friend actually.
Oh,
Oh,
Nice
I
to meeting her.
see.
Yes, yes. I
That's
just
good.
texted her. I was a member of one club in Sri Lanka earlier, and she understood. She got it that I'm Akulina, and I texted her.
Ah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
wonderful speech.
It's a
Wonderful
small
speech.
world.
Thank you very
Bye-bye.
much.